For centuries, the law has persisted. The U.S. Constitution, a list of 10 amendments consists, written in Philadelphia by James Madison Swiss, and set laws argued by the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. The first 10 amendments, also known as the Bill of Rights, influenced by John Locke's ideas of freedom and birthright. The states and federal government powers would unite, should the foresight of future problems that will ignite. When the First Amendment is the best without argument, the freedom of religion not controlled by the government, as long as they don't take it to illegal certain extents, such as polygamy or drugs in its content. The freedom of assembly and speech of protesters aren't silent. They have the freedom to be allowed to preach aloud in front of thousands that are being watched by the crowd. As long as it's peaceful, they can petition their positions, such as stance against taxation or against prohibition, marching for equal rights and desegregation, marching for equal rights for children's education, including the free press to teach, change the nation to progress. Unless as obscene undressed breast business is addressed it. If it's obscene, then the public can't be seen in public place. Been tried in a court such as Keene versus Hustler magazine case.
Then the Second Amendment with the right to bear arms, but governments trying to deny the right to fear and harm. Then the third states without the house owner's permission, the militia cannot be quartered in peacetime or war tension. Then the fourth declares no search or seizures that are unreasonable. They must have evidence or a good reason to be justified reliable. Unless you haven't had the owner's permission, you need a warrant. For the government or police, they need the judges to prove a judgment.
Then the fifth requires the government to respect a person's legal right to due process. In trial with self-incrimination, the question the right to remain silent is what pleading the fifth is evident. If the jury's judgment is innocent, even the sure proof evidence of him has appeared risen. With double jeopardy declared innocent, say he really did and doesn't see prison. Then the sixth has the confrontation clause where during the court case, the witness and accused can be able to see each other face to face. The other court rights such as the accused's right to a speedy and public trial, jury of appears has to be honest with the oath on the Bible, the right to counsel with the government providing the lawyer. If the person can't afford their own with the high figures, then the seventh state cases by another court can't be re-examined only once with the Stockholm and versus New York insurance is really happened. And the Eighth Amendment states that there can't be excessive bail to give the accused a lower chance to fail to pay to keep them in jail, nor can there be any types of forms of cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. However, debates on what is cruel and unusual defined has been conflicted against the accused that's been convicted since it's restricted. Unless it's death penalty, that's been the jury's verdict. The Ninth Amendment states other rights of the people can't be denied. The Tenth Amendment states power not by the federal government and then reserved to the states people nationwide. Should have been more clear in the Bill of Rights they had created that left the rest of the nation on issue, but they debate the expressions of freedom that they should not can ride the bus. Civil rights movements or UC Davis campus, both instant violation of the freedom of speech to this day. With the right to marriage, could it be between a gay and a gay? Either way, rich man, poor man, we all gotta pay because freedom isn't free from our way.
They mention on state question on how to determine the state's amount of representation. Virginia delegates saying it should be based on population, or New Jersey proposing that it should be equal participation. Referred to as Sherman, the Great, or the Kinetic Compromise, that should establish two forms where one is based on population size, called the House of Representatives, where it's one from every country, while the other two in every state called the Senate. All politicians is the new feature of the nation's democracy, have to be elected by the people and public on ballots. Now it's for everyone went back, then it was only for white men. All of this debated and thought of it 1787. After fighting a new revolution to the ratification, to make the set of laws to this present we live in, from liberty, freedom, to right to own weapons, to put the troops to not living in our homes without permission.
To no searches or seizures without a reason, to double jeopardy and self-incrimination, to cruel or unusual punishment, interrogation, to the people's rights being in protection, to states' power by the Constitution, and all is signed with our founding fathers' pension by Madison at the Philadelphia Convention to create a set of laws for the new nation's foundation.